this morning's opening trade auction on the S&P was at what price? Exactly that same price, right? Now, it doesn't always have to be the case, but this is where the opening auction was here. At what price? 65.66. So we can start to recognize that we'd already tested into this with very high volume coming in behind that. And obviously you're starting to look at that and say, well, it's sell side below this. So if this rolls over, having seen a very, very aggressive long auction going into that number, going into that open for the last hour and a half of pre-market activity. So you can see the pre-market's very, very bullish, but it didn't take the price above the RGL, which suggests that the algorithms are going to still sell if the price starts working back off those trades. And obviously what happens is that the price then did work back off the RGL from last night, and we started to see some selling coming in from the gun, and it just drove literally from the gun. It's straight away the sellers came in and started to punch it in the face a few times, and we could see some selling coming in from the specs. But there's not a macro view in this that's particularly bearish. Obviously the highs lows resets at zero, guys, so obviously that's not a divergence, that's just a reset, a start reset. The market that has divergence is the blue line. You can see it's a little bit overpriced against the short-term volatility hedging. So short duration hedging is something that you would have known about at the opening bell, right, Mike? Short duration hedging is what the blue line does at the open against what the blue line did at the close. This is especially useful if the price is at the same level, because then we can get an easy to measure divergence. So if I take the short duration hedging, the short duration volatility hedge, and you can see that they are busy doing that hedge here at the open. Now, obviously, you can start to recognize the opportunity to maybe work into that. Now, that's something that you could obviously start to look for in the early diddles of the market to see if it starts to, if it started to show up early stages. Now, it did start to show up early stages, because the good thing is VIX-M, VIX-Y actually does print pre-market. Does anybody know that? VIX-M, VIX-Y does trade pre-market. It doesn't trade very often, but it does trade pre-market, guys. So we can obviously get a read on the pre-market at the open before it actually starts. I'll put a quick chart together for that very, very quickly so you can understand what I'm talking about. In fact, we had the VIX the other day, didn't we? We put up a chart that had the VXX and the UVXY on the charts, so we can obviously just look at it on that. You can look at it on that itself.